Do you feel that every conversation with your partner ends up in an argument? Do you often say to yourself, "I was only trying to help. And now we are fighting again"? Do you feel helpless or hopeless and that your partner does not understand you? You and your partner could be caught up in the drama triangle. Hi, my name is Hanro Lawrence, counseling psychologist. And in this video I will be talking about the drama triangle and how it plays out in relationships. The drama triangle was developed by Stephen Karpman in 1968. This theory proposes that we can adopt one of three roles when in a relationship. A victim usually has an attitude of poor me. A victim feels helpless, hopeless, and powerless. They often feel oppressed in some way and therefore feels as though the world is out to get them. Because they feel hopeless and helpless, they are usually unable to make a decision. They would rather someone else take responsibility and make a decision for them. The rescuer is a classic enabler. They are always ready to help and feels guilty if they do not. It therefore becomes a need for them to help. Yet if they rescue the victim, it keeps the victim dependent on them. It also gives the victim permission to fail again. The persecutor is always critical of the victim's decisions and actions. They are therefore quick to blame and become angry with the victim, if the victim makes any mistakes. This of course reinforces the victim's sense of helplessness. The persecutor feels superior to the victim and therefore feel they can control the victim. This in turn reinforces the victim's sense of oppression. Because of the nature of these roles, and their attraction to one another, one of two relationships are usually formed. These relationships fulfill the needs of both parties. When the victim and rescuer are attracted to one another, it fulfills the victim's need to be helped or rescued. At the same time, it also validates the victim's belief that they are helpless and cannot do for themselves. In turn, the rescuer's need to save or rescue is satisfied. As long as the rescuer rescues, the focus is on the victim and not the rescuer's needs and inadequacies. When the victim and persecutor are attracted to one another, the victim experiences blame, criticism, and oppression. This validates the victim's belief of poor me and reinforces their feeling of hopelessness and helplessness. This type of relationship validates the persecutor's sense of superiority. Whilst blaming and criticizing the victim, the persecutor never has to reflect on their own faults and flaws. If we have a look at the triangle, we can see that these roles are not fixed. Sometimes the individual can shift from one role to another, moving from one point on the triangle to the other. This leaves their partner with a choice, to stay in their current role or to also move along the triangle. To better explain this, let's have a look at two examples. In the first scenario, let's imagine a couple by the names of Linda and Peter. Linda had her first child 6 months ago and feels insecure about her body after the pregnancy. One day Peter arrives home from work to find Linda crying and feeling upset. As Peter holds her, Linda confides in him about her insecurities. Peter sympathizes with Linda, but soon his need to rescue takes over. And so Peter suggests that they both join the local gym, and that he would exercise with her. Peter's suggestion infuriates Linda and she starts to blame Peter for not understanding her and being a terrible husband. This leaves Peter feeling hurt, confused, and helpless. Peter's suggestion goes against Linda's belief that she cannot do anything about her situation. If Linda joins the gym, she would be in control, and would no longer need to feel helpless. Therefore, Peter's suggestion makes Linda feel as though he does not want to support her victim mentality. This in turn frustrates and angers Linda to the point in which she adopts the persecutor role by blaming and shaming Peter. There is no resolution in this scenario, and so the drama continues. In our second scenario, let's imagine a couple by the names of Dan and William. William has always been a shy person who seems unsure of himself. William usually second-guesses any decision he makes and would ask everybody for advice before he acts. On the other hand, Dan comes across as someone who is very self-assured. Dan is a very confident guy who likes to take the lead in any situation. In the beginning, Dan and William were very happy in their relationship. Dan would make all the decisions, while William felt relieved not having to take any responsibility. After a year of dating, Dan started to verbally abuse William. Dan would blame William for not doing anything in the relationship, and would often belittle William in front of others. Dan would often remark that William would be nothing without him. One evening after visiting William's parents, Dan starts to insult William again. However, this time, Dan makes that following comment. "When I look at your parents, I can see why you turned out to be so pathetic." William immediately flies into a rage, and starts to scream at Dan. William ends his tirade by stating that he no longer wants to be in the relationship and will be moving out the following day. Dan is shocked by William's statement, and immediately starts to apologize for his comments. William is not interested in Dan's apologies, and insists that he wants to end the relationship. The following morning, Dan promises to make an appointment with a couples therapist if William would only stay in the relationship. William agrees to this condition, however Dan never schedules any appointment. As we can see, Dan's treatment of William fits with William's belief of being helpless and oppressed. However, when Dan insulted William's parents, it gave William permission to stand up against his oppressor. Despite William's belief about himself, he holds his parents in high esteem. In a way, it also gave William an excuse to temporarily break free from his self-belief and vent all his built-up anger towards Dan. In this scenario, William moved from the victim role to the persecutor, forcing Dan to become either the victim or rescuer. In this example, Dan was the victim for a while but eventually moved to the role of rescuer by suggesting couples therapy. The first step in breaking these dysfunctional patterns is to become aware of the role you and your partner adopt and how you might move along the drama triangle. I only discussed 2 examples in this video, but for example, the rescuer can also become the persecutor. Once you and your partner understand how your relationship plays out within the drama triangle, you can consider how you might behave differently in order to break the cycle. If you feel like a victim, consider thinking of yourself as a survivor. Whatever has happened in your life, you are still standing. Start thinking like a problem solver. Ask yourself, what do I want, and consider the steps you might take to achieve that. If you feel like a rescuer, start thinking of yourself as a teacher. Instead of saving the victim all the time, consider teaching the victim how to save themselves. As a persecutor, rather start thinking of yourself as a challenger. If you feel frustrated with your partner, instead of blaming and criticizing them, try to challenge them. For example, if you want your partner to do more house chores, don't yell at them for not cleaning the house. Rather challenge them by saying something like, "If you clean the house, then I will do the dishes." As a challenger, you know you will be able to keep your end of the bargain, but by doing so you force the victim to do the same, and so the victim will start to feel less helpless and feel as though they achieved something. If you find that despite your best efforts, you and your partner are still fighting constantly, you should consider contacting a couples therapist. A professional could help you gain a deeper understanding of your relationship. Couples therapy is a safe environment in which a person might feel more comfortable expressing themselves. If you want to find out more about me or my practice, go to my website at www.lawrence-psychologist.co.za. You can also follow me on Facebook. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, subscribe to my YouTube channel, as I regularly post new content.